up? Welcome back to Two Wide Racing. I'm Tony. It's my sister Katie. It's another Sunday, and yet another race, and we were at Talladega this week. Turned out to be a bit of a bore. I was a bit checked out for some of it, and not really feeling a vast majority of this race, but I guess we can get down to that. How did you feel about it this week?
Well, I certainly spent a fair amount of the race scrolling through my phone, not really paying attention. Good chunk of it was duller and dirt, literally.
Yeah.
Last week's race on dirt was a lot more exciting. This was more of the boring superspeedway race.
Yeah.
We've come to know and hate.
Yeah, over here we're not really big fans of restrictor plate racing. I don't really know what can be tweaked about it. As a long-term fan, I get less and less from it every year. It feels very predictable. It feels very stale. It feels very stagnant. But at the same time, grandstand's packed.
Yes.
At the same time, in any NASCAR advertising, that's what they're going to show. It's so inherently a part of the sport. I don't know what to do with it. I feel like it's one of those races, too, where when we talk about lap counts, there's no way it's ever going to change. It's always going to be these long, long days out here running around and around and around. The Geico 500, it could have been 50 for all I care. That's all that really mattered about the race, was the last 20 laps.
Yeah, the excitement is always going to be at the end. So cut the race. God, make it 100 laps. That would be more than enough Talladega for me. And personally, I don't think we need 2 Talladega races every year.
Yeah, that's
We
not
could certainly stand to lose one or turn one of the Talladegas into their road course. That would be a pleasant change, but after suffering through today's race, I'm not looking forward to coming back.
No, so I think we're both on the same page of just kind of being over plate racing and restrictor plate racing. It's just dull, and it makes for a long, slow kind of grinding day. It's also too trying to talk about the fans and how their takeaway. I think for a normal person, that's why they think NASCAR is boring. I'm not really sure. We were talking a little bit today during the race about like maybe adding more drone shots, trying to make it look more dynamic. It's crazy how a bunch of cars going almost 200 miles an hour can look like the most, like, watching paint dry. It makes no sense, and it feels like they've relied on a lot of the same tricks that they established, like, 15, 20 years ago. So maybe there can be something done in the broadcasting. I think shortening races across the board, I think we're just going to be talking about that till we're blue in the face, because that's the state of the sport. It needs it.
Yeah. And NASCAR seems quite willing to be trying new things, changing it up.
We're in that era, so
I don't know how they could try to change the restrictor plate racing, but try something.
Goodness. A little shake up. Stop and eat. Have like a pie eating contest. Have them shop for souvenirs at the haulers. Maybe try the hot dog at the convenience. Anything. It's gotten so boring that I just can't stand it anymore. But let's talk a little bit about, I guess, some of the finishers. We got Chastain again. Watermelon Boy coming through, smashing produce on the track. Somebody's got to clean that up. I don't know how much I like it, but it does seem fun just a little bit. Rebellious and cool. It's good to see that team yet again just chugging away this year and being one of the front-running teams.
Yeah.
Who saw that?
Certainly not me. Chastain getting a second win, and Suarez also had a good day until he got taken out in one of those wrecks.
Right.
But they are having a banner year.
It's incredible. It's something to watch. And, at the very least with everything, it still feels like there is a lot of disparity this year. This is only the second time we've had a repeat winner this year, I believe.
No, second. Byron has won 2.
Well, I mean, today was the second time a driver's done that. It still feels like it's anybody's game a lot of times. That's good to be said, but it's just unfortunate that these races are such boring turds.
Yeah.
We did, like we said, 43 came close. Wanted to see that. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, during the broadcast they said 260 some races since Petty's won. Almost had it tonight. He had a nice little cushion there.
Yeah.
Looked like he was going to take home the win, but
he could see it. He thought he could smell the Gatorade in victory lane. He was really close.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate as a Petty fan. As you might can tell from some of the stuff on the set. Been around a while, remember Richard. But it's hard to watch that team. But it also feels like maybe some of these older legacy teams might be on their way out. I don't know. That's a long time without a win. That's a hard thing to tell a sponsor, come on over. We haven't won in 5 or 6 seasons. That's kind of a tough look, and I hate to be that critical of Petty. Of course I want to see a 43 on the track with them there. But, to their credit this year, the 42 and the 43 have both shown up a lot in the mix. So it wouldn't surprise me if we got to finally see that curse broken.
That would
Let's
be great.
cross our fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was, like we said, not a lot of drama this week or much to talk about. We were eating sandwiches and Oreo pie for a good chunk of it, checking Instagram. But it is our obligation to let you know how many diggers we think this one deserved.
Yeah, I've got to come down pretty hard on this one. I can't give it more than one digger.
Ooh, the single digger. The first time of the year.
First time.
The single one digger. No friends. No Grandpa Digger. No late Mrs. Digger.
No. All by his lonesome. Just one digger. And that's being generous.
Yeah. Well, well, let's hope we don't ever have to give a no digger race. But one feels appropriate. It was a snoozer. It was a turd. And we didn't really have fun, and there wasn't really much to enjoy other than a wild wreck-em-up at the end, per usual. So, yeah, maybe there is some answers out there. We'll send it down to the lab and have them process some things, and try to come up with some answers as to how to make these 4 races a year a little bit more fun to watch at home.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. And while we're at home, we do like to snack, and we're happy to report that being a part of Rowdy Nation, we found the newest M&Ms.
After a long search, we did finally come across the crunchy cookie M&Ms. So we wanted to taste test those here for you, let you know how they are, and if they are worth your money, or if you should just stick to the classic peanut butter, the best M&M there ever was.
We're always willing to try it. New season, new M&Ms. Okay. A bit airy. It's like a crunch bar.
Yeah, it is a bit lighter. It's not that dense cookie you might have thought.
So how many diggers would you give the new M&Ms?
It's pretty good. Out of 5?
Yeah.
I'd say at least 3.5.
3.5? That's solid. I'll give it that.
I'm still going to stick to my peanut butter M&Ms. Maybe occasionally a peanut. Those are the best.
Those are the 2 best classic flavors. So, Mars Company, since you're leaving Rowdy Bush, feel more than welcome to deposit large chunks of money or snack candies in our mailbox or our feet. We are ready to go corporate and big time. Well, with that with the food review and the boring race out of the way, it is time now to go down our favorite paint schemes of the week.
And number 1 was obvious.
Yep, another immediate.
Yes, and another not often seen car during the race. The number 7, Corey LaJoy.
Yes.
In the Raise energy drink.
Right.
Just that bright, vibrant neon colors. It was very exciting. What do you think?
Yeah, it was just another 90s neon car. Kind of a little bit vibes of last week with Bubba. Coming through with a very 90s feeling, just neon bright. You know what? It was exciting. I was like, hey, look at that. Even out of focus. Out of focus, I'm like, what is that thing over there?
Those colors really stood out on the track.
And it made it look different. So I think that's a thing you want for your paint scheme, corporate
I have
companies.
Never heard of Raise Energy until today. Look at all the attention it got.
Had to Google that. When you got to Google that, it's good paint, and you might just win for the week. He was popping in and out. He was running with Rowdy there towards the end for a minute, and then seemed a little bit in the mix. I believe he came home 14th. So he doubled his door number. That's pretty good for a car.
Yeah.
That's in the rear like that.
That's pretty good for the 7.
Yeah, it's pretty good for a 7. So what else do we have this week?
Coming up after the number 7, I got to give it to 43.
Okay.
Eric Jones, that Air Force car, looking really nice.
Military.
Yeah, it was a kind of an olive drab gray, dark gray color. I'm not sure exactly what that Pantone number is. but it had a nice neon number on the roof that really popped, and the Air Force logo just beautifully filled up the door.
Yeah, just a well all around. For some reason, RPM or Petty Motorsports, whichever, they tend to have really good military themed cars. Every year they bust one or two out that's got kind of like the shark mouth on it, or they got a lot of cool stuff. And you know what? I could see more of that. I'm surprised you don't actually see more military themed cars.
Yeah, as involved as they are with the races and the flyovers,
big presence. Yeah, all the different branches. Yeah, hey, bring on more of those. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy to see the 43 looking good and running good today.
Yeah.
A twofer.
Following up behind another good-looking and pretty well-running car was Harvick in the number 4 gear wrench.
Yep.
Had that nice metallic bronze color going on, which was definitely unique.
Right. No, we talked a bit about that, some with like reflective-ish materials, and that wasn't kind of like chrome or anything, but it did have a weird vibe to it where it looked like shiny.
Yeah, that metallic effect from like the old school metallic markers you used to have.
Yeah, like a light reflective, like not a full on. So maybe that's a part of the rules. We're still
not
wondering
sure
aloud about that.
But paint rules.
Yeah, but it was a good one. Shout out to the old boy Harvick, came up in the mix. He's still on the hunt. Another old dog waiting on a win. But we will give him a nod for great paint.
Yeah, and did finish in the top 10. So, great paint does help.
Good on you, bud.
And rounding out our number 4 is 41, Cole Custer, who had the Wow Wow Waffles, which is another sponsor we had to look up.
That's a Googler. That's what we're going to call those. You have to Google that one.
Yes, but it looked similar.
It's like a snack thing, like a waffle snack?
Yes. Pre-made waffles, ready for your enjoyment.
All right.
It was similar to the other Haas tooling cars he's done with that gray metallic.
Yeah.
It had those like red and yellow stripes really close together. From far away, it looked like orange on there, but it was actually red and yellow stripes on there.
Right.
Which was a nice effect, something unique.
Yeah. As you say, like a lot of teams don't like mix up from their normal one, just change out the colors, and that's kind of what that one was. And it worked to a great effect. I think the Haas car is a little bit boring. It's like almost there kind of paint.
Yeah, I like the color choices generally speaking, but not enough to make it in our top 5 list usually.
Right. Shout out Cole Custer, you win the award every week for best name in NASCAR. You still got to grow that mustache and come out with a cowboy hat. I might have to throw you in uniform jail for these offenses, but shout out Wow Wow Waffles. Maybe I'll grab one.
Yeah. And now rounding out our top 5, we've got the 55 Yelly in the Hex car.
JJ Yelly, another great name.
Great name. And a great car. Mostly black, but had neon pink and yellow.
Yes.
And maybe a little neon orange on that as well.
Neon wins with us every time.
Yeah. Looked great. It was for some stupid cryptocurrency. That's irrelevant. We're seeing a lot of cryptocurrency.
It's a crypto era.
If they're willing to write you a check, good on you.
Take it where you can get it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle this week to find some paints, but there were some gems in there if you look. Sometimes you got to look and wait and watch 180 laps of paint drying to find that one car that looks good. It went to
check out the back of the field.
Yeah.
We do have to critique paint now and call the paint police on the worst of the week. Now, this is a repeat. We have called out the 31 before.
That's true.
And there for a while, 31 was actually in the top 3, which was a little shocking.
Right.
Haley in the leaf filter. That's an awful paint scheme.
Stunningly bad. I'm sick of seeing it. I'm going to throw you in the hole so I don't have to see you anymore.
Yeah, and he runs that scheme a lot. That is his main one, and it just looks awful. Yeah. Makes no sense. It's got this like green wave on the side that looks like a blade of grass that just...
Yeah.
The artist was not talented.
The second offense is because we have to see it so much because that team is not changing that paint scheme enough, which is also... just boring and redundant. So we're sick of it. You're going to solitary confinement. You don't have any rec time. And you're not coming out for a while. And if you do it again, I might have a Spanish execution. You might have to put on a blindfold. It's that bad.
Yeah.
Off with your head. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's the paint for this week. Next week, we got Dover coming up. Sunday race out in Delaware. Hopefully provides a little more results, a little more action, some controversy. I feel like we need another fight. All the controversy. Oh, hey, shout out Dale Earnhardt, or I'm sorry, Jeffrey
Earnhardt.
Yeah, he got the pole and finished second. No one ever saw that coming.
Yeah, and he had that beautiful number 3.
Got a classic number 3 car. Yeah. Sometimes a good paint will
Great
get you
paint
there.
does help.
Listen to us. Send us M&Ms. Send us candies.
Send us Reese's Cups, and we'll design Kyle Busch's new car.
Yeah, we'll get Kyle on the next wave with Hershey's, hopefully. It's going to Pennsylvania is where we're hoping that one goes. But anyhow, that's it for this week. Hopefully you got something out of nothing on this one. We'll be back at you next week for paint reviews, race reviews, and all that good stuff. We'll see you on the next one. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Amen.